Flash, welcome to Continuum Script, and I am Jeffrey, and this is my friend Ben.
We're working on intros.
Yes, and I don't know why I said Flash. That's just one of those things that just came to me like, oh fuck. I shouldn't just come up and say hi, hello, or whatever. I'm
I
Jeffrey.
thought we were going to start talking about the Flash show.
I didn't even suspect that you even watched The Flash or any of the CW shows.
I do not, but I'm aware of its existence.
Hmm. Currently, all of CW shows uh, for the CW verse or whatever are kind of, on hiatus.
Huh.
Yes, due to the pandemic, of course, which is more important that they protect themselves. However, on a news front, Flash is supposed to come back with a couple more episodes or start recording certain things, I think next month, but I'm not
Cool.
sure. Unfortunately, Supergirl, one of my favorite, the show I usually go to, will not finish its season, so it will be postponed until the fall. Unfortunately,
Huh.
yeah. But the same could be said about Batwoman too. That's not going to come back for a minute because I heard nothing, but I don't think that's going to come back and finish anything. So pretty much everything is on hiatus.
Huh.
So today's continuum script, we are going to talk about, in general, Beetlejuice for whatever reason. The
Yeah.
image you see is apparently a Broadway musical. Is that
Yeah,
right,
I'm pretty
Ben?
sure it's Broadway.
No, it's a Broadway thing, and they adapted Beetlejuice into a cohesive story that adds a lot, that fleshes out certain more characters compared to the famous Michael Keaton one that came out in 1988 or 89.
I don't know. I don't know that much about Beetlejuice.
Have you seen the film?
Yes, but my recollection of it is hazy.
It is an old film from the late 80s. It's iconic with Michael Keaton as the title character, and apparently he's a little bit more antagonistic compared to what I have read on about it online.
The musical version or
The
the old?
musical, the musical version. I mean, in the movie, he's more antagonistic compared to what I read online about his character being a little bit more kind of a not tragic character, but back in like a neutral character, a force of neutrality or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, I don't remember that much about Beetlejuice. He did seem to kind of just do his own thing, but his own thing was messing with people.
Yeah, to the point that it disrupted everyone's lives, and the fact that we also got Winona Ryder, I believe. Yeah, yeah, I think it was Winona Ryder for Beetlejuice because it has actually been far too long since I watched that film myself.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Sorry, folks, I'm just confirming. No, okay. One, it came out. The original movie came out in 1989. So yeah, Alec Baldwin, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, Winona Ryder. I was correct, just making sure. And in the film with Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder's character is just a gothy chick and everything who's just lonely, I guess, and she befriends those two ghosts of the people who just died. And they found out that time went on without them, and now new people moving into the house, and it's very entertaining.
Yes. Adam and Barbara Maitland.
Yeah, see, you know those two characters' names. I do not know those two characters' names. I just thought of them as the kind of lame couple that just wear like tacky ass clothes.
There's a lot of stuff about the musical in reviews and on Tumblr, actually.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
Also, it's easy to remember their names because this is like on the internet now, which is an open forum, which means that I'm about to voice an opinion that people might disagree with. I mean, but I don't know. It feels like in the musical, the uh, what words am I trying to say? The characters are more fleshed out, so they're easier to remember.
Yes. Well, in terms of like more differentiate, in terms of the fact that fleshed out, they're given more character compared to their more goofier, serious selves in the original film that it's based on.
Yeah.
Like the deal with Winona Ryder's character. Well, when I say Winona Ryder, I mean her character in the film, which I can't remember her name, sadly.
I
What's her
think they're all
name?
the same.
Hmm?
I think they're all the same as the musical.
Yeah, but I can't. Yeah, I forget the character's name though. So I'm calling her Winona Ryder.
All right. I think you mean Lydia.
Yeah, her, Lydia. There was more backstory apparently with the fact that she wants to really see her mom,
Yes.
and
Dead Mom. That was one of the songs.
the song.
One of the songs was called Dead Mom.
Oh, hmm. Is that when, from what I read, uh, she was wound up in the what is it, the netherworld or whatever, that endless abyss or whatever?
Maybe.
Was that the word? Was
Uh,
that that song?
Actually, I heard the soundtrack online, and actually, I feel like I should take a small break and make a bunch of clacky noises on my keyboard
Okay.
to bring up that the only reason I know, and I'm speaking slowly to stall and save time,
Cool.
the only reason that I know that this exists is because of a YouTuber called Yams Animatics, YAMZ,
Mm-hmm.
and they did a animatic of Say My Name, which I loved.
The
The
song "Say My
animation
Name."
stuff. Yeah, the animation stuff and a song. I actually, yes. Um, so yeah, I've heard the songs on YouTube, and they like to reprise a lot.
Cool.
Like, they'll reuse the music that they were saying earlier in the movie. Like, what is it? Like, there's a like the first thing in uh the musical is CD, I guess, is Invisible. It's a song that Lydia sings. And then later Beetlejuice sings a more comical version of it.
Hmm.
So they end up sharing a lot of things. So she could have sung that song twice.
Hmm. Okay. I would say something, but I feel like you have more to say.
No, that's it. I ran out of stuff to say.
Okay. Yes. And apparently, through this image I'm seeing, he looks like he's like doing a very good part of Beetlejuice with the lady doing being Lydia,
Yes.
and it feels like it's less antagonistic between them compared to the Michael Keaton version.
Oh yeah, there was like a song in the middle called "The Beautiful Sound," and it's basically about how in this version, Lydia and Beetlejuice, instead of being like immediately antagonistic, like they become roommates for like a day or maybe like a week or something. They just spend it like scaring the crap out of anybody who comes by, and it's apparently great fun.
Cool. And apparently, there's more not at stake because I'm just remembering the two lame, boring couple,
Yes.
and they seem to be more secondary, sadly, from what I read, compared to their being the more one of the main protagonists in the film.
Yeah, a little bit.
They felt like they were like ghosted, not pardon the pun, but yeah,
Yeah.
they just felt like they from when I read it, looked like they just felt like they were like there, and they had even though they had like a song or whatever. It just like okay, so do they at least have a
They
happily ever
actually had
after?
multiple songs throughout the show.
Hmm.
They actually had multiple songs throughout the show.
Hmm. So they actually
Their
had their
thing is
moment to
actually
express
mostly
themselves.
about. Huh?
They had a moment to express themselves in song.
Yeah, their story is actually kind of self-contained from the. How do I say this? The story pretty much ends up being mostly about Beetlejuice, Lydia, Delia, and Charles. Um, and their stories about what are their stories about? Um,
Loneliness, moving on,
yeah,
wanting
loneliness and
love,
loss and
needing
stuff.
love.
Yeah, so they all kind of like come together like that. The Maitland is actually about like getting out of your shell.
Okay.
Like their first song is about how they've like completed the 12-year plan of things they're supposed to do, and now they're supposed to like have a kid or something, and they're afraid to move forward with their lives.
Oh, it's ironic then. Shit.
So then they die.
Yeah, that's irony because they waited 12 years just to have a kid.
Yeah, and then they died.
Oh, that's actually very sad then, because in the film they just were going outside and everything. And when you bring up that 12-year plan, it makes me think that that kind of happened in the film before
Yeah,
they unfortunately died by their stupid car, like driving over some kind of freaking moving bridge or something.
something like that. Actually, I remember in the movie they had like just moved in, but yeah, no, in the musical they saying like at the end of a 10-year plan, which I guess means they've lived in their house for at least 10 years, and
Mm-hmm.
then they were like finishing it and they were getting ready to go and do stuff with it. Um, yeah, you're right. That is sad.
It is sad, yeah. It's like, whoa. If they were about to have a kid and everything, but damn, it's like, damn, that's very, very sad.
Yep. So like, yeah, I guess their story, like their song at the end, was something on the lines of realizing that all the stuff they were holding on to wasn't that important,
The
and they
house?
can, yeah, the house and all the stuff they were doing, and they could be doing more. So they decided to go and fight for Lydia.
Hey, that's cool, man. They fight for Lydia.
But then, like, I don't know. According to all the music, a lot of stuff happens in the last like few minutes of the play. I don't want to say that it feels rushed because it doesn't necessarily feel rushed, but just a lot happens.
I can see that happening. So, how did you discover the Beetlejuice the Broadway
That's
thing?
what I was saying when I was talking really slow.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
It was an animatic by a YouTuber called Yams Animatics.
Oh, okay.
They did an animatic with the song "Say My Name," and I liked it a lot.
You find the most intriguing of people on YouTube, then.
Yes, I do. I find weird stuff.
Yeah, from the No Pants Dance people or whatever, Ninja Sex Party?
Yes, those are actually pretty mainstream.
Is that a bad thing that this is so mainstream now?
No,
No.
I'm just saying that people know who they are. That one isn't that niche.
Ah. Hmm. I feel like I need to add more if we're going to talk more about Beetlejuice, but I'm not sure. I think I think we hit our quota for this portion. I guess.
Yeah, there are lots of weird things that we could talk about, like the characters and stuff. But
Go for it.
I feel like that would. Oh, I don't know. I just found all the characters pretty interesting. I really find Delia pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the movie, she was just kind of like the evil stepmother,
Mm-hmm.
but in the musical, she is so many things.
She's
She is
freaky.
like, yeah, she's like this. How do I say this without being offensive? Right? Like somebody who likes to buy crystals and listens to weird advice and thinks science is dumb.
She is. She could be Shirley MacLaine. I guess
All right,
if you know who
I
she
don't know.
is.
I don't know who that is either.
She apparently bought crystals at the mall.
All right.
She's a. Oh my god! I can't believe that joke went over your head. You never seen. You've never seen that episode. Oh my god! Did you ever watch Animaniacs?
I have. I did not watch Animaniacs religiously. No, I've seen an episode or two.
They know a lot of pop rap culture references of the time, and they mentioned Shirley MacLaine in a song called "The Six Senses," and that's always stuck with me. And that's why I said she's probably Shirley MacLaine because she bought her crystals at the mall because she believed in the whole sixth sense or whatever.
Yeah.
I will show you that song after this recording because it's actually very good. It's actually good.
All right. But yeah, yeah, what I assumed would be an offensive thing to call her would be like Moonchild or something.
What's a Moonchild?
I don't know. That's why I don't understand it, so I'm assuming that's offensive.
It could. Well, it might not be offensive, or just could just be a slang term against someone who might be kind of like a flower child.
Could be. But yeah, she like has a guru that she listens to who is like her friend in the movie.
Oh,
It's
apparently
a much
Moonchild is a group.
yes. Who has a much smaller role now.
Apparently, a Moonchild is someone born under the Cancer sign from June to July.
That is not what I thought it meant at all.
And then it can also be someone who has a strong connection to the moon.
Still not what I thought it meant at
What
all.
did you think it meant?
I don't know, like there's like a stereotype of people who like buy crystals and say things about the
It could
universe
be.
and
I mean,
smoke a
it
lot of
could be like a
marijuana.
small niche thing because I'm looking it up and it's also a pagan thing.
Okay, maybe that's it. I don't
The
know.
phases
But
of the moon that determine like the foundation of like I don't know nature or the trees and how it grows and the sea all that shit.
hmm.
And I'm sadly, no, not sadly, I am merely going by my recollection of watching, of watching an anime called Rental Magica that had a female character who was a witch, and she studied the fate, and she studied Celtic magic for her to wield magic to help out the main character,
Cool.
and it was very entertaining, and I liked it. And she, you know what? We're not talking about that. I can't get into something else because that's the thing. That's like an anime thing. I'm gonna try to keep this. Well, then again, we do just do
I thought that
anime.
was the whole point of this show.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you know what? This witch. She's a regular high school student, but she is European and she apparently studies Celtic magic due to the fact of something happened to her and the current main character as a child. He gets cursed with a fairy eye that lets him like read magic and everything, but if he overextends it, his eye starts bleeding and he gets contaminated with very bad toxins of backlash of magic.
All right.
She studies Celtic magic as a way to try to, to try to see like she can heal his eye that's cursed, and she studies the phases and she becomes like the person that has revived Celtic magic. And she is very strong. She has a very strong connection with it because she also uses phases of the moon, which really strengthens her magic, which deals with like the wood and the greenery and all that stuff.
Cool.
And it's very cool what she does because she actually, I mean, besides she is a witch that she's at this magic school or whatever, she flies a broom or whatever, and she uses like these little needle like cone things that's like from wood or whatever, and her magic spell is hail from the south, from the north or east, strike my enemy down and everything. It's pretty cool, and the magic she utilizes is very good. I mean, it's very cool and when it appears like and everything else. So
Yeah.
she's all for that greenery. So you, in a way, you could also call her a moonchild, or maybe even a druid, even though technically she's a witch.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of calling her a druid.
Yeah, but the thing is, even though she revived the Celtic magic, she doesn't like the full extent of it. Like in the druid mythology, there is a thing that deals with sacrificing goats or cows or whatever to utilize magic. So as a substitute to that, she actually utilizes the trees and the wood and all that stuff as a substitute instead of sacrificing live animals.
You're too cute.
Yeah, and she is also and also with the show the typical thing like the main character is kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh or something, or kind of like
Mhm.
plain like a plain dude until he like takes off his eye patch to help out the characters like utilize their magic and or craft that they specialize in, and like to deal with an enemy. And he can like it's like the Sharingan but with more magic. I'm sad to say they
Oh,
fell at that.
nah, that makes sense.
Mm. And oh, okay. Manta Magica is like a 22 or 23 episode anime that came out a couple of years ago. It is out on physical media if you can find it, but it's also now on the Funimation app. And the main character named Itsuki, like I said, he got when he was a kid, he knew Homami, and she and him were like running around in a haunted house or whatever one day, and they weren't supposed to be in there. Something happens, so he tells her to escape and everything, and he's very brave with when he does that. And her mom is like crying out his name, and then something happens to his eye, his left eye, that gets like replaced with a curse or a fairy glam. I think they try to call it. I think it's called.
Hmm.
And like I said, it's like it can see magic, it can read magic, and when he takes and he wears a specialized eye patch that contains the power. And usually, if he uses power, one of the characters have to utilize a craft or magic they specialize in to purify it. Because in this world, when you utilize magic, there is like a toxin, unfortunately, that comes with it, like a karmic balancing, I guess, as it were, like a contamination. No matter what,
Hmm.
no matter what spiritual power or magic you utilize, spirit magic contamination is a thing, and the characters who utilize magic always make sure to clean up their mess so it doesn't linger, because apparently the effects of spell contamination is dangerous. It can actually bring forth like various wanton spirits, or cause hallucination, or even death for some people who are very sensitive, or just normal humans who don't know about it. And Itsuki takes over, unfortunately takes over, I mean, not unfortunately, he takes over his dad's old company called Mental Magica, because apparently his father has been missing for like a decade, and now he is 16 or 17, and he's taking over the place, and Homami works there, and there are two other characters that work there. One is a little girl lolly priestess who's actually okay, so I don't necessarily hate her. She's actually pretty interesting with what she utilizes. She utilizes like typical priestess abilities. She can purify anything with whatever she chants or whatever.
Hmm.
And then there's a dude who looks like that dude Geen from Bleach, and
Yeah.
he uses Omnaji, I believe it's called, magic or spiritual awareness or whatever. And he utilizes four cats as his catalyst to activate his own Omnaji abilities.
Cool.
There's another character named, oh, I forget her name. I think her name begins. Oh, I forget her name. It's a British lady. It's a British girl, female, who is a rival to Hamami, and for the affection of Itsuki. And she actually is a descendant of Solomon. And she utilizes the magic of summoning by summoning all 72 demons under Solomon's name, apparently.
Hmm.
And it's an interesting thing. It's pretty cool how she does utilizes her magic, and she's also part of a rival group called Gosea, I think. And she's like, her company is like more better branded than Itsuki's company, because they're like top tier and they're low tier, and they're trying to like settle their debts and all that stuff. So it's interesting to see how there's a dynamic, yet she becomes like a close ally and friend to the other characters while maintaining her rivalry with her mommy, but secretly they're friends, a typical trope and everything.
Yeah.
And then there are more characters, and then soon the Mental Magica group grows as they gain like another character who is apparently a poltergeist.
Cool. Can
And
I interject?
yes,
Are you saying that this is Modica Magica?
no, Mental Magica.
Okay, I'm like, I thought that was the one about getting little girls to sign contracts and then killing
No, that's a more fucked up. That's fucked up. No, that's a fucked up anime.
them. I'm like, man, this is like nothing that I heard about. Either that or it's a really long burn until they start killing off characters.
No, mental magica is different from. Well, I think I might be pronouncing it correctly. One sec.
You're saying mental instead of Modica.
Yeah, mental magica.
Okay.
And technically, the Modica Magica anime is actually supposed to be called Purelia something 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 Modica Magica.
The name is much longer in non-English speaking countries.
Correct. Uh, well, technically, I don't know. It's just you know what? It's Purelia Magica Modica whatever. But I just call it Modica Magica for short. I can't pronounce Puglia because it is Pulle or something. Puglia?
That does sound confusing.
It does. But no, Mental Magica is different from Modica Magica because it's totally different genre. I mean, even though it's the magic genre, it's like a little bit more. I think the story and uh, the themes of it are a little bit more straightforward compared to Modica Magica, which is like these girls have a dark fate if you sign a contract with the Faust, sign a Faustian deal with a flipping alien.
That is very confusing.
Yeah, and he doesn't understand the concept of feelings. But
I
yeah,
don't want to die. That makes me upset. What is upset?
sorry, I really do not want to burp on this thing. Damn it, it's annoying.
That happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, my friends say I burp too much sometimes when we're recording.
Yeah, whenever anybody says that to me, I just say that I have severe stomach problems. Because I do!
You have gastro problems.
I have no idea. I just assume that they have severe because they suck to experience.
Mm, it's fine then. But yeah, Mental Magica, and it's pretty much an anime I enjoyed watching like when I was like in my like almost my mid 20s when I got the two box sets of it.
Oh, wait, how old is this?
It's a couple of years old. Like it's like 9 years old now by the time because it's not new. It's been out, but no one's ever heard of it.
Alright, I was imagining it as like some kind of, I don't know, chibi something, but now I'm imagining it as like her, I don't know.
I'll send you an image about it later.
Alright.
Mental. I'm actually typing this in my phone while I'm talking to you. Here we go. It's a Japanese animated series. Manta Magica, it's a Japanese light novel series which became like a 23 episode anime, and apparently the show actually came in 2007, but it was released physically like around I would think I got it like in 2010 or 11, so it's actually much more older than I thought. The genres are comedy and action fiction with magic shit, I guess.
Sweet.
Yes. And it's a pretty cool anime. And of course, there's a beginning, middle, and end for each episode, even though some episodes can extend to like maybe two parters. It gets very entertaining when there are more characters compared to the initial ones. But each episode deals with like a certain character and what magic they utilize and specialty.
Mm-hmm.
And actually left off. Now I remember I left off at the characters meeting at Poltergeist, who becomes like another character, another person at the place they get that they are in. She is a poltergeist, and she's a ghost of a dead 16-year-old girl, and Itsuki befriends her by helping her out at the hospital by dealing with a some kind of case about over there when he got hurt, and she realizes that and then during the course of the series, she realizes she can also utilize her own innate magic by being a ghost called poltergeist, which means she can take control of something by utilizing poltergeist abilities.
Is that why we're talking about this?
What?
No, it was because of Moon Children.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's simple. Any ghost can learn possession in less than one lesson.
But anyway, I guess I want to cut. I guess I should try to wrap this portion of Mental Magica, this Mental Magica thing wrapped up. Uh, the series gets very entertaining when you get to past episode 12, because then that's when certain things start happening, and it gets very entertaining.
When
Uh,
we stop introducing characters and start introducing plot.
yes, and there's a big plot by the end of the series that deals with the birth of a dragon.
Yay, dragon labor.
Or something. It's like a very dark dragon, and the characters got to band together and stop it from being birthed or whatever, because it has like a strong field of
We have to
magical.
kill something before it's alive. This feels. No, I don't want to make these jokes. Anyhow,
No, you can make them. I don't mind, dude.
I was gonna say this feels political, but I'm like maybe that's a little bit dark.
Nah, it's not really political at all. It's just like, I mean, it deals with more bureaucracy of the politics of magic, because there is apparently there's a hierarchy when it comes to magic and what people can do and their specialties and what jobs they do. It's a thing.
Why do I feel like that always? Well, okay, of course it always bugs me. I hate authority. So whenever that happens, like, oh, it's the magical bureaucracy. I'm like, burn it to the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, in some animes or shows, they do have to get into like that. No matter what, there's always some kind of hierarchy when it comes to any kind of thing, even when it comes to magic. With magic,
And
so
it just seems kind of weird sometimes. Like, we're the magical bureaucracy. It's like, I have magic, so I'm not going to listen to you.
well, if you hate that, then I'm not sure how you're gonna feel about Fate Stay Night,
Maybe.
because they have this thing called the Magic Association, and it's a place that is in London, and it's a big old hierarchy of magic people and whatever. They have a school and everything,
Hmm.
and there's a hierarchy, and it's like, damn, they are really tapping down on what they can and can't do in real life.
The
Because
man.
because only ones who come from magical families know the deal when it comes with magic. Normal people like us aren't supposed to know about it, because it would cause all sorts of chaos and bring back like the Salem witch trials, or people do not know. People fear what they don't understand, and if regular people like us found out that magic really exists, or branches of it, and or whatever, it would probably cause all sorts of chaos and start some kind of civil war among magi versus regular humans with guns.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty chill and cool.
I mean, I guess it depends on an individual and everything, but pretty much, the Magic Association wants to keep everything contained. That's why they have their own they have their own little politics and bureaucracy and little factions of people to deal with certain things. It's actually interesting, but still.
All right.
But yes, Moonchild. Yes, I think so. I don't think. I mean, when she probably said Moonchild, Ben, she probably meant it as an insult, because like, oh, you're just one of those flighty girls that think like you
I
can wish
didn't
on to
mean
be.
it.
Hmm.
I didn't mean it.
It's fine. I actually find this entertaining.
Fine.
What other characters fascinated you, or who did you feel like you had like a strong connection to? Beetlejuice.
Uh, maybe a little bit, but not in the serial killer way. Maybe in the being lonely way.
Oh, okay.
Um, but I don't know. Just like the guy who played him, there were some things that he did that made me really like it. Like he made Beetlejuice seem kind of, I don't know, almost like childlike and sad.
Well, yeah, because apparently didn't that from what I read or whatever, his mom neglected him or whatever.
Yeah, he did have this whole motherly neglect thing, but like to a lesser extent, where there are just things like, what song? No, wait, I don't think it was a song.
I think it was more with
Oh,
wording.
I think it was something I saw on Tumblr where he's like, I can't remember. Oh god, did I just make this all up in my head? Okay, well,
Okay.
unless I make this all up in my head, there's a scene where he's like trying to get the Maitlands to like say yes to a scheme, but instead of just like constantly being confident about it, he just like kind of like bows over and is like, "Please say yes, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes." And I'm like, I feel that. And then he gets like super excited when they say yes.
Hmm.
So I didn't relate to that a bit.
Oh, okay. So, what else has made you fascinated with the Beetlejuice Broadway special? Anything else that?
Oh yeah, Delia is yeah, I feel like she's different because before she was like an evil stepmother, and now she is something I don't have a word for. But basically, she's just constantly trying to see like the positivity of the universe and feel its energies and like be open to new opportunities and stuff. And
Again,
there's this one
she's
part,
again. She is what is that name I used? Oh fuck me.
Flower Child.
Yeah, she's a flower child, dude.
But I would not say there's anything wrong with that. But
There is nothing wrong with being a flower child in this day and age.
okay.
Much.
But there's this one part where Lydia is like it's basically yeah, it's like you're just annoyingly positive because you've never suffered. And then Delia's like, bitch, I have seen things. Things have happened to me. You have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, damn, okay.
I've seen shit, dude. I've seen it.
She doesn't actually say that, but she like just is like, I don't agree with you, and then goes into a story about how sometimes you might be married, then your husband might turn out to be gay unbeknownst to you, and then buy a boat and sail away with his boyfriend without you.
Oh shit!
And then you'll just be like sitting there talking to the walls because there's nobody else there. Then you'll buy a cat because you think it's the only way you can still have a family. And I'm like, Jesus, Delia. You are way more interesting than your movie counterpart.
Yeah, even though I do love Catherine O'Hara and she does bring her own brand of funny to that character in the film.
Yeah, but it's a good character in the film, but like I just find the one in the play so much more
She
interesting.
has more
She's
deeply
also like a ditz.
compelling character, I guess.
But yeah, she's kind of like a ditz, and like I think there's like a final battle scene or something, and I just saw her character, and like they're all giving different battle cries, and I just remember her character saying like, "I don't always know what's going on, but I'm here too." And instead of like being conniving or scheming, she's just like trying to be a good stepmom. I don't know. I like that.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
And what about the dad?
I actually don't remember him from the movie at all. I don't know if he did anything in the movie.
He was played by Christopher Walken.
He was?
Yeah, dude.
I do not remember that.
I remember that.
Um, it's weird that I don't remember a Christopher Walken performance. I don't know who people are, but I know who Christopher Walken is. Well, I don't really remember the dad character really having anything. What am I trying to say? And anything that I really remember about him, but in this one, he is much more memorable. He's
Oh, damn.
What is he doing this one? Oh yeah, he's also not totally over the death of his wife, and his instead of like just basically the mom being an evil stepmother in this one, which he's not. It's mostly the father who's kind of like I don't know. I guess he's just not emotionally ready to talk about his wife being dead and is trying to move on.
Most guys aren't. Most guys aren't the most emotionally open about certain things sometimes, yes.
But his daughter needs to talk about it, and not talking about it is driving her crazy.
Ben, you gotta tell me these things, dude. You gotta tell me.
Tell you what,
I'm being dramatic. Like, I'm trying to say, like, you gotta be more open with your feelings, dude. And then you're supposed to say something like, I can't be open with my feelings, Ray.
but I'm very open with my feelings.
Yes, you are. You would. Yeah, you are.
That reminds me of that one TikTok where it's kind of like, hey, Tien, yeah? You ever want to talk about your feelings? No. Okay. And some other guy's like, I do. I know you do. I'm sad. I know you're sad.
You watch TikTok?
No. I only watch Vines and TikToks when they're like set to a theme.
Oh.
So the TikToks that I've watched have been set to a D&D theme.
Yeah, you showed
And
me one. It was intriguing.
yeah, that was actually an animation of a Vine D&D theme one, which was
Really?
cool. And the other ones that I watched that were Vines instead of TikToks are usually animated. So there was a lot of Undertale 3D animated Vine things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I really hope you're not catching those belches.
What?
Good. If you can say that, we're good. Good.
Okay.
I feel like they're loud and rumbling and they're going to be heard and everything, and it'll be very embarrassing if that was the case.
Oh, the burp thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I can hear the ones that you are complaining about, but other than that, not really.
Oh, fuck me. Damn it.
Now you have to buy editing programming to edit them out.
I don't have editing programming, at least I don't know how to do anything. I am totally illiterate when it comes to editing videos, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm freaking recording over a freaking image because I don't know how to screen capture when I'm trying to edit an actual MP4.
Huh,
Unless you know how to, then I'll just get that shit to you.
maybe.
Fuck. Damn it.
Ah,
You should have said something sooner.
now we are even.
Jesus Christ. No, I
Uh,
should say Sweet Nicks.
no, you can say Jesus Christ. I only got mad at you for saying that
I
because
don't
I
know. I
thought you
feel
were
like I have
making
to
fun of
say
me.
Sweet Nicks and everything because no one knows who Nicks is. And if I say Jesus Christ, it's like saying, oh boy, he's like one of those dudes that say Jesus Christ when he gets upset. Like, not really. It's just one of those things that happens when you become when you become someone in your mid-30s.
Yeah. Sure, say Sweet Nicks if you want to. It's actually pretty cool.
Mm. Anything else with the Beetlejuice dude?
Mm, what were we talking about? Oh, the dad character. Yeah, and then yeah, I guess not. I
Mm.
liked it a lot though. All the stuff that I've seen
Yeah,
of
you
it.
mentioned it on Discord and everything. I'm asking, why do you want to watch this? Why do you want to watch this? Why do you want to watch this? Or see Beetlejuice on
Well,
Broadway?
there's also the increased wanting to watch it because I can't. They didn't make a video of it, and unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic, their last play was supposed to be in June and ended up being in December.
Oh, it got bumped to December, huh?
Yeah, but according to my dad, that just means that now that it's off of Broadway, it has a chance to show up other places. So it
Mm-hmm.
could like show up in your hometown, either with the original actors or I assume more likely with like a local company doing it, which
That'd
would
be
still be
cool.
cool.
I guess I would guess I've never seen a Broadway, so I guess I want to go see something now.
Yeah, like we have a local thing in Cincinnati called like the Playhouse in the Park, and they do plays there.
Oh, that's
I actually
cool.
saw a play there when I was very young. I don't know how young. I think like 7 or something. And
Oh, really?
it ended up being about Japan, and it might be why I'm so into Japan now.
Cool. They got you when you were young. As you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Get them when they're young and foolish. They can.
Although there's also part of me that's wondering, like, it was like a play that Americans made after seeing Kabuki and stuff. I think. So part of me, I'm like, I wonder if this is um, like okay or not. This might be like not good.
It could have been good.
I don't mean like good as in a good play. I mean like politically correct. There we go. That's the one I'm.
What you say?
I don't mean good like in a good play. I mean like politically correct.
Oh, it was a. I mean, you were like what 7 and what 2, like in what 1999?
Yeah. Well, I would have been if I was 7. If it was 1999, it would have been 5. So plus 2 is 2001.
Oh, dude, I was like 15 at that time. Damn, or 16. Damn it, I'm old.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Basically, I think my mom had to go to work, so my dad took me to a play or something. I remember bringing this up to him, and he's kind of like, "I feel bad." I'm like, "Why? I really liked the play."
He liked to play.
No, I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
The only other play I remember going to was a bike about a bunch of Christian stuff. I didn't necessarily get it. The most memorable part was there was this one part where some guy came out in a giant bunny suit. And he's like, I don't want to do this bit, so if you laugh, I'm not doing it. Which, so of course I laughed. I was 5.
Wow,
Much to the angering of an old lady in front of me.
wow, Ben.
I made him leave the stage.
Why did you purposely make him leave the stage?
I didn't. I was a 5-year-old, and people were telling me not to laugh.
And you laughed.
Yes. What else are you supposed to do when people tell you to not laugh?
Oh, Ben.
It's like a natural reflex.
So if I
I don't
told you not to
remember.
laugh, would you laugh?
I mean, if I was already laughing. But what am I talking about? Oh, right, the play. I don't remember what the Christian one was called, or if it was even a play, or if it was more like stand up. It was just like 3 guys, I think. Um, but
You sound like you're singing. Oh.
yeah, I'm like trying to think of what I'm talking about. I randomly lose the thread of what I'm saying sometimes. Um, right, the play about Japan was, I think it was called Pacific Overture.
Hmm.
I always get confused when I say that because I'm pretty sure there's like another musical, but that's like a movie called South Pacific.
Hmm.
But yeah, the play was called Pacific Overture, and it was about Japan right before the World War I or II, I think, and it was about how America came in and Americanized Japan, and how there was a lot of upheaval about it.
Oh.
It follows like I think a samurai who is basically whatever position he is in, like whatever rank of samurai he is. He seems a lot like a police officer. So he's like working with people trying to stop them from like rioting and stuff during the Americanization of Japan.
Hmm. Okay.
But it's like I don't know, it was interesting. And also spoilers for the Beetlejuice movie, which we've already had a bunch of, and spoilers for Pacific Overture, but uh like he had there's like a young friend of his who's like excited by the visitors because they're isolationists. But then when the Americanization actually kicks off in full swing, he becomes part of like a violent rebellion. And apparently, because the main character worked to help things not go violently, and instead made it so things kind of went peacefully, he was seen as kind of like a sympathizer, and that was negative. And then I think his wife killed himself because of that. Killed herself.
Dang.
But yeah, it was just very interesting.
And you saw this at 7.
Yes.
Damn.
Just like, man, that was a shitty thing to do for America. But Japan seems very interesting. Like at the end of the I feel like the message at the end of the play was that they bounced back from all the bullshit and became their own people again.
Of course. And then now they have the highest rates of technology, more or less.
Yeah. But yeah, they moved forward and stuff. But again, this was all written by Americans, so I'm not sure if that is, yeah.
That's an ironic twist.
Yep.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's all I can think about as far as plays go. I don't really see many except for the ones that my cousins do.
Unfortunately, I'm aware of those plays of those Medea things.
Of those Medea things?
You know Medea?
You mean like the Tyler Perry movies?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we're talking about the same thing.
Tyler Perry plays Medea.
No, I said the only other plays that I'm aware of are the ones that my cousins do.
And what did they see?
No, they are in school plays.
Oh! For God's sake, damn it, Ben. Okay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear.
Okay. Okay. I mean, they're just school plays, dude. I think they're doing their best trying to be actors or actresses and try to
Yeah, I know.
gain.
But I'm saying, like, as far as watching plays, that's about all I got. I've seen like two plays that I liked, and well, two plays that I liked that my cousins were in because I have to like all of those plays.
Yeah.
And
Family.
most of them I saw through my cousins. I don't know. The Shrek musical was interesting.
I never saw a Shrek Broadway thing.
I don't know if it was on Broadway, but schools do it a lot,
Why?
and
Why?
because people really love that movie.
I don't know why.
Well, my dad really likes it because he relates to the main character. Everybody else thinks it's funny. I don't know, but yes, people love that movie.
Your dad relates to Shrek
Yes,
because he's what? Is he also grumpy or whatever?
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. I can make a guess, but okay.
Uh, yeah, the only one that I remember is Perfectly Modern Millie,
Hmm.
which is actually pretty funny because my cousin was in it. She played the villain who was like, I think the play's like about being in the 50s and stuff, and they're all trying to make it on Broadway, and they're all trying to get famous.
That's the lingo. Oh, we gotta love it.
Or maybe they're like trying to get into the newspaper. I don't remember, but like that's like the A plot, and then they randomly stumble onto the B plot, which the villain is in, and the villain is like the landlord in the A plot, and she's kind of mean. But in the B plot, the villain is a straight up human trafficker,
Oh fuck.
and that's who my cousin is playing. And I'm just like, whoa.
Wow.
Oh man. So yeah, I think she was like gonna like sell the main character into slavery or something, and they caught her.
Damn. That's dark.
Yep.
You said this takes place in the 50s?
I think that was
So
kind of like the style of dress.
oh, okay, because I'm not sure if people still said words like swinging and everything and hit cats and all that shit. No,
Oh
they
yeah, no,
probably did. I'm just
I just
losing it.
I take like the 20s to like the 60s, and I just kind of mush them together into this big
The
blob.
Roaring Twenties, where everyone talked like this. We used to have We used to have radios, VHSs, film at 11.
Everybody is an announcer.
Yes.
It's the only way it's the only way the microphones will pick up your voice.
That's right, Ben. That's the only way for microphones to pick up our voices. He's coming. He's coming, people. He's a coming.
Yeah.
And that is my swinging 20s voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting fact that we're now in the 20s. We're in our 20s in the year facet. We are in the early 2020s. So
The plague-ridden 20s.
yeah, we're in our own roaring 20s, the neo 20s. I wonder if people are gonna start talking like this because we're in the boring neo 20s.
Maybe. It'll probably be funny for the first 2 years, and then it'll get old.
Yeah, just like what's up.
Yeah.
You watch Scary Movie too?
No, but I saw a Bud Light commercial once.
Oh fuck. Yeah, not
I
I remember that.
didn't actually see it. I just saw it on a show about commercials.
Yeah, I can remember that damn commercial too. Unfortunately, everyone knew about it back then.
Yeah.
You sound tired.
A little bit.
Gonna hit the hay soon.
Maybe. I might stay up.
So you're just gonna just play what's that video game you like? World of Warcraft? No, I'm sorry.
Yes, World of Warcraft.
No,
Actually,
no. It's not called that, damn it. I know. It's called Call of Duty.
that is what World of Warcraft is called. But yeah, I like playing Call of Duty because it's a great way to not think about anything.
You just shoot people though, right?
Yeah, but I've become numb to the killing.
No, that is a game, so you can do whatever you want. Get rid of any frustrations you have.
But no, it's not really like a get rid of a infestation game. It's kind of like, I mean, hmm, how can I say this politely? I can't, so I won't. The
Okay.
game really hasn't changed in 10 years. It's kind of the same thing, over and over again, and every new game just kind of like refreshes it up a bit, so it's not the same exact same. So it's not like crazy,
Hmm.
but like because it's so familiar, I can just kind of play it and not really think about anything. It's like a good kind of like almost like a meditation practice of just kind of like tuning everything out.
I'm shutting off everything when I'm wearing my cool ass onesie.
Hell yeah! Mine looks like a fox. It is also probably too small.
I considered if I should get a onesie, but not in this time frame because wearing a onesie during this pandemic could be an interesting thing, but I'm not sure what the size should. I mean, I know what size I should wear, but I'm not sure what I should get. Should I get like a hedgehog or a? I don't know which. I don't know what kind of onesie
I
I
have
should
no
get.
idea. I got them because they were really fucking popular one year.
I
Um,
can see that
like
with your generation.
yeah, everybody was wearing them one year at MomoCon because I think everybody was selling them. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy one.
Dude,
And
that's
what?
in the middle of the freaking summer. Weren't you hot?
Not in the air conditioned con floor.
Fuck. You know what? Uh, the con I go to didn't have a fucking AC much. Damn it.
That sounds horrible. Like large groups of people will generate heat, lots of it.
Yeah, and I had to actually zoom into the bathroom while wiping myself down of all the sweat underneath my armpits that generated. And
Jeez.
I actually, I had deodorant and all that shit, but I was embarrassed. Like, God damn it, no!
I'm amazed nobody in like a really crazy costume got heat stroke.
It could have been AC. I'm gonna ask Mike if he felt any AC doing it.
It was AC, but it was not on high enough.
I get, please, not at that convention center it seems, but who knows?
Also, I'm sad that like every convention can't happen because of the pandemic right now.
Sure. I apparently Otacon's supposed to still is still on the books to come to DC like in late July, early August, but I'm not sure anymore at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, if it
I
gets
hope they
canceled,
don't.
I don't mind. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's safety is more important than an actual anime convention.
Yeah, but hopefully they don't go bankrupt because of it or anything. I remember recently there was like this one, like really, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it like a capitalist kind of convention where it was like run by a company or something, and I'm like, this is okay, but it's kind of soulless. I hope this doesn't become a trend. And then it was like, because of the pandemic, lots of conventions may close their doors. And I'm like, no. Damn you, capitalism.
Yeah, that sucks. I think
No,
that
wait, no, wait. Capitalism is just a structure or something. If you want to, if something is bad and it involves money, you call it corporate. There we go. Yes, it was very corporate.
so corporatism.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was very corporate.
Hmm. Well, whatever. I think Otakon, even if it does not happen, I think they'll be able to survive at least for the. I think they'll be able to hold off until next year. Hopefully, nothing should happen.
All right.
But I'll keep
Thank
you updated
you.
with that shit.
Yay, hope.
Hope. But anyway, with this whole pandemic thing, think times are really changing and whatever.
Yes.
But I think that is our episode. We are like 58 minutes in.
All right.
Ben, any closing thoughts?
No, I talked a lot this time.
Yes, you did. And I don't mind.
All right.
So, to conclude, Beetlejuice. It was interesting as a Broadway musical from what I read, and Ben also did his own thing and everything. And it was very
Yep.
entertaining. And then we talked about Mental Magica and Wiccans, because witches and anything else. And then apparently other minor things and everything. But it doesn't matter. We talked about Beetlejuice. And that,
Yep.
everyone, is Continuum Script. Next time, who knows? So, I am Jeffrey, your host, with my friend Ben, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Okay.